we're going to go through our first cut on the fly-through. A lot of what we have, we know, has to be modified. It will take at least 2 to 3 cuts before we get down to what we consider is a concise, clear, sharp fly-through. So we will look for your comments, your views as well in doing the movie, and we give you as much freedom as obviously as you want. This is only going to be our sense of what it is we think it takes to explain the design. I will give you a quick overview of what we're going to talk about. We will first start with an overview of the golf course and talking about the amenities that the environment provides, the golf course and the linear park. And then we go into the entrance, taking us around into the lobbies, through the lobbies into what we consider is the high point of the complex, which is the inner gardens, which is a variety of different facilities. Those will be identified ahead of time, cataloging the facilities so that the people will know what they are about to look at. And then we will go back sequentially to each of these areas and develop a more clear scenario of what the design is all about and what we intend them to experience. So it will be the major, once we're inside, it will be the lake and the clubhouse. From the clubhouse, we will go to the roof of the clubhouse, which is really a garden. And from there we go to the multi-use green area, informal play, which will have in it a private garden area for events. And then from there we will move on to the swimming pool area, and it really is meant to be a spa, a resort pool area. From there we will talk about the pool, playground, and then finally the tennis courts. And then we will end this with a botanical display, an aerial botanical display, showing how over the course of different seasons, the different plantings will bloom, mostly trees. So we'll start, number 1 is starting the sequence. Number 1 is the golf course, and we feel that the narrative will talk about that it is an incredible amenity to be located where everybody has a view of this green manicured golf course. From there we have the number 2 is the linear park, and that again is a unique facility for strolling, and the narrative talks to that. Then we go to the entrance, and we should pause. The entrance is where we enter now this special environment for this special place, rather, not environment, this special place, this magical residential environment that provides not just a design but a lifestyle for the people who live there. Here we need a gateway. The gateway is to be done by Rajiv as it reflects on the golf course, and that is number 3. Number 3, we go to 4, which is the tree-lined boulevard that brings you to all of the entrances. The guardhouse we see now is only a placeholder. It's much too simple. The trees will be jacarandas on the sides, and the center will be Dolonix, which gives us a brilliant red and a purple. And that will be defined as we look at these. You don't see a lot of this in the fly-through. This will be corrected in the next iteration that you get either tomorrow or on Monday. And we then come to the building entrance, where we will have a stop for a moment, pause for a moment, and the building entrance will show the fountain. We have a still that will sit in here, The building entrance will be number 5, and number 5 takes us into the lobby itself, where we think we want to really enter into the lobby, should show a typical lobby, and that again is Rajiv. The lobby is important because it is the transition between the building where everybody enters and then what they see. And this is the magic of the design, is that when you get past these columns, which we shouldn't show, we should see a glass wall. We can pause for a minute and then see 3 different views. And the views that we want to we show them on here as 7, but the only ones we want to show will be 3 and 7, the ones that look at the lake. These are not it. And this is one right here. You're coming, this is a view number 7. It looks onto the lake itself. And we should stop that, go to the next one. We want to just go from view to view, and that's when we'd show the multi-purpose area, but use the still that we're presenting. It has to be animated. So 2 of them will show the lake, 1 of them will show the multi-purpose. So we will come in from a slight aerial of the lake, which will then go to an aerial of the multi-purpose and the garden. These will be very short, but mainly to indicate what's available, what we're going to be looking at. Then we go to the swimming pool or the swimming spa area, and then the playground, and then to the tennis, the racket club. Okay, now we are walking through. We're walking through around the lake. Okay, and here we have the amphitheater on the left. Walking around, these will be modified. Some of the designs will be modified. We're in the middle of fixing the model. We'll get that to you either tomorrow or at the latest Monday. And with each of those will be a slight modification of the fly-through as well. But we think it's important that the lake, we're going to put boats in the lake, and the boats will actually take you, in some cases, around the lake. But here we're walking. Someone should be walking and experiencing the different facilities. Have someone in a boat which would actually take you through the different islands, and if you want, they can even be getting out of the boat. But it'll take you to all the facilities that the lake actually brings you in contact with. And it brings you, some of this we're showing you is much too much. It will obviously have to be cut and edited in a way that is more exciting. The amphitheater should also be accentuated, showing an event in the amphitheater. It would also be nice, and at some point, if we could show a night scene. And we're now coming to the card room, which is actually in the lake itself. People should be inside. It's actually a bar and a card room. And then we go to the restaurant on this side. This is the restaurant looking out to the outdoor pavilion. And again, we will develop that more for the next iteration. And we will send you separate umbrellas that we're intending to use. They're at least 4 meters across. They're really quite beautiful. This then is the urban street that we talk about, which will take us stops and the stilted area of the building, which again Rajiv can amplify. And it brings us into the multi-purpose area where children should be playing. We have some good shots of that will be either stills or will show. But this is mainly a place for informal play. It's all grass and trees. But within it, we have a mound, and inside the mound is a private garden. And the private garden is a unique space to be used by individuals as a retreat, or can be for birthday parties, celebrations, and other. And what we're showing is walls here will all be green for the most part, will be covered with plants. And there on the right-hand side is a garden with, again, we'll give you examples of the kind of plants. We actually have photographs of these. The canopy will be covered with bougainville, and we have outdoor dining, which can also have an outdoor serving area.
And it should be depicted as either a private event like a wedding or a party.
You can show more than one event. Then we come to the indoor pool at the spa, the swimming club, and we should show a swimming pool in there. And however Rajiv wants to show that, and then the pavilion here is going to be changed. You'll get that in the next iteration. We have islands for sitting, and then the entire area is we really need much more water. So you should come over to the lap pool here, people sitting on the sides, then the channels, people sitting, and there's the hot tub or jacuzzi, people again sitting, with the cabanas in the back. We want to accentuate the fact that all of these canals and water bodies are part of the experience. And we look throughout, and so you'll have public and private areas. It'll be managed any way that they wish it to be managed. And then we walk through the spa connected to, we have a special children's event, pop-up jets where kids can play, and that begins the children's playground. Wherever we're showing walls, this will be mostly planting. We'll have it covered with vines or sheared ficus hedges. In the playground, the curbs are out, no curbs. It'll be a very natural area. The bridges are natural stone, the stepping stones. We are in the middle of finishing the design of this area as well and making the 3D, which will amplify some of the activities in the area and give you much more to play with. And from there, we move into the tennis club, the racket club, where we have the canopies, amphitheater, a clubhouse, and a shop. For the golf pro, a shop for the golf pro.
Tennis pro.
And
Tennis pro,
not golf. This is the roof of the clubhouse. However, this will be placed on right after we finish with the clubhouse, we will go to the roof instead of putting it at the end of the presentation. If we have time, we will do it before you get it. If not, this is what you'll see. But this will be placed on top. It will show the canopied area that will overlook the golf course, as well as you're moving through here. This is all at the edge, and it's about 4 meters or 5 meters up higher than the rest of the site. The benches will be on one side only, the one on the right. People will be sitting there, and this will be canopied again with bougainville. All of the orchestration will be modulated by the filmmakers as they see fit. In the next iteration, we will be much more detailed as to what materials we'll be using, and it will be easier to delineate the facilities. See, and in these green areas, this will be lush plantings, not lawn. We'll give you names of plants, and we'll actually give you the plant types. But it'll be large beds of planting. And at the far end, we have a barbecue area, and the building will have a roof, even so that it will. This is just a placeholder with some outdoor dining.
Overlooking the hedge garden surrounding the oval garden.
And this will bring us into, from the roof, we will bring us into the
event space.
Into the multi-purpose area. Now we come back at the whole area. We're going to show the botanical side where the flowers, the flowering trees will be blooming. And whatever whatever is not clear earlier will become much clearer when they see the full array of materials. And that's it. This is our first pass. Many of the areas have disconnects that we want to tie back in. We will go as far as we can today. We want to bring you up to date so you can see where we stand and what we have and the material we're working with. Tomorrow you'll get another iteration where we'll tighten it, and then we'll have yet another one on Monday until we get this to the point that we feel it is between us. We have concluded on the narrative and the scenario that please do not show this outside of the immediate group working on it until we feel we have developed it at least one or two more iterations, because this is just very rough and we felt it's important for you to know where we stand.